hat today, guys, and as you can see, I'm bald. And the reason why I want to show this off is because I want to talk about something that can connect to this a little bit. Growing up, I had like a full head of hair, and then when I got into high school, maybe it started to thin out a little bit, and then just a few years back, I decided, what the heck, just shave it all. And what I felt was a source of insecurity, now I just feel is a convenience to me. And it's really nice to feel, you know, the breeze on my head and all of that. Now, why am I talking about this? Because sometimes senses or sources of insecurity can become a source of, you know, a little bit of joy, a little bit of happiness or convenience at least, or a kind of luxury. For me, this is kind of like a luxury, right? And we can get that kind of feeling sometimes when it comes to racism. And you're like, whoa, from baldness to racism. Yep. I was watching a few documentaries just recently, and there's this guy, and he got so angry that the N-word was still being used. And you guys know about the N-word, and I'm gonna say it eventually in this video because I want to prove a point. When a lot of black people hate it and get angry and get all up in arms when they are called the N-word or nigga, I don't understand why a lot of black people call fellow black people niggas. And they say it a lot. Hey, yo, my nigga, yo, my nigga, yo. You know, or, you know, boyfriends, girlfriends who are both black, and then the black girl calls her black boyfriend, you know, yo, that's my nigga. You know, I don't understand why they're allowed to do that when we are not. And people say, oh, because they're black, they can do it. No, I'd have to disagree. What is racism? Racism is when you get to do or don't get to do something because of your race or your skin color. Okay? Let me repeat that. Racism is when you are allowed or not allowed to do something because of your race or skin color. Now, I'm Filipino Chinese. Filipinos have their own derogatory words. The Chinese have their own as well. Now, here's the thing. You will never see a Chinese person call another Chinese person yellow. You'll never hear a Chinese person say, yo, my yellow brother, you know, or hey, you yellow. We don't do that, you know. We don't say, oh, sick man of Asia, what's up? We don't do that, right? We don't use those racial slurs on our own, even if we know that it's over, because we just want to get rid of that. So there's no such thing as a Chinese guy saying, yo, my yellow sick man of Asia. You know, there's none of that. I'm Filipino. We don't call each other Indios. We don't say, yo, brown man, yo, Indio, you flip. Because flip is another derogatory term for Filipino. We don't call each other flips. So we don't call each other brown. We don't call each other Indio. That's not in our music. It's not in our culture. We just totally removed it because we hate it. Now, with blacks, I really, really disagree when they call each other the N-word. Because if they get to do it, so can we. We don't allow hypocrisy. We disagree with hypocrisy. We don't want hypocrisy to be part of our culture. We don't want to be able to say, well, they can do it because they're black, so they can call each other nigga, but we can't do it because we're not black. Then that's racism. They get to do something because of their skin color, and we cannot do something because of our skin color. Right? So what used to be a source of insecurity for the blacks, being called nigga, now is a source of luxury. They get to do something that we cannot, and it gives them a sense of, in a sense, allowance or even superiority in at least that area of life, that very specific micro area of, you know, society and culture. They get to do something that we cannot, and then they put it in their music, they put it in everything. They call each other that word. And yet, when we do it, they get so pissed, they get so angry, when the truth is, they have no right. They have no right to be angry if you call them that, if they do it themselves. Now, qualifier. I'm not saying we should call every black guy nigga or the N-word. I'm not saying that. I'm saying if a black man does it or a black woman does it, then they have no right to get angry when they're called the same thing because they do it on others. Regardless of it being said by a white guy, a Chinese guy, an Indian guy, doesn't matter. If they use that word to call their friends, then they can be called that from whoever. right? Now that's one of the things I wanted to talk about. So a source of insecurity became a source of luxury for them, and that's racism, and that's hypocrisy, and that shouldn't be the case. That shouldn't be allowed. My opinion, we just remove the entire word from everyone's vocabulary, including the blacks. That way, there's gonna be so much respect. There's a movie I really like, Coach Carter. It stars Samuel L. Jackson, and I think Channing Tatum was also there. He was still very, very young. Okay, I'm not sure if Channing Tatum was there, but it's called Coach Carter. I don't like all the values in it. I don't like the whole abortion part of the movie, but I did really appreciate one scene where all these black kids were calling each other the N-word, and then Coach Carter, Samuel L. Jackson, he was a basketball coach, tells them, you don't call each other that word. Even if we're blacks, we don't disrespect ourselves, we don't disrespect one another. And so that's a mindset that I was like, yes, I like that. I like that a lot. There's no hypocrisy. There's no room for hypocrisy in this film. And we gotta learn to be more consistent in our lives as well. What are some things in our lives that we are allowed to do, or we think we're allowed to do, but we don't allow others to do to us, right? That's one thing. Here's what I was thinking. Just in terms of consistency, and I know this is kind of a little bit off racism, but still kind of connected to consistency itself. Consistency. Social media, I wouldn't do anything on social media that I'm not willing to do face-to-face in person. So if someone posts, for example, whatever, on their wall, and you see it in your newsfeed and you disagree, if you disagree, right, people usually use the haha emoji, the laughing emoji. I'm just very curious. Are you willing to laugh at another person? If someone says something and you disagree with it, are you going to go, are you going to do that? If you're not going to laugh at someone in person, then why laugh at them on social media? Because the screen gives you a kind of protection, thinking you're immune, and it kind of, in a sense, the screen dehumanizes whoever you're discussing things with. You're discussing with words on a page. You can forget there's a person behind that. That might mean something to them, that might be important to them, that might be a significant thing in their lives, and you just laugh at them. So I think that's another form of inconsistency. It's where you behave very, very differently online than you do in person, and that's something I would totally disagree with. I think consistency is something that's lacking even among a lot of Christians, and something that we should repent of, something that we should realize that we're not as sanctified in certain areas of our lives as we are in others. So yeah, those are things that I would be very careful to do, careful to think about, something to reflect on, to examine ourselves, and hopefully if we do, then we glorify God more and honor ourselves and honor each other more. God bless you guys. I hope this was encouraging to you, and if it was, please don't be shy. Feel free to send me a message on the comments or on Facebook, or you can like and subscribe, because I don't normally share this stuff anymore to so many different Facebook groups. So at least if you subscribe, you get to see if there's a new video coming out, and I usually upload 1 or 2 every week, so once or twice a week. God bless.